today I want to kind of walk you through 4 questions that I've found very helpful in helping people ask some of these questions about, well, so where am I right now in my life? Discernment isn't always about what am I supposed to do next. Sometimes it's about where am I now and what am I not seeing about where God is in my life. And so that's where I want to start. I want to start where we are now. And I've got a handout I'll give you in a minute, but let me walk you through these 4 questions. So some of them are better than others, but the first one I called the profile question. You know, after like your Facebook profile, it's the information about yourself that you give to people who you don't necessarily know that well. It's the what do you do question. I asked a couple of you that question is what you ask when you first meet somebody. What's the identity I present superficially to the world? What do you do? What's your major? What do other people say about who I am, what I do? So that's the first question. And it tells you something about just names where you are right now in life. The second question goes a little deeper, and I call it the purpose question, even though we've named that as like the whole point of the 4 weeks, but I think it's a starting point. What is the work? I've said what I do, but what is the work or activity that makes me feel most fully alive when I'm doing it? It may be part of what you're doing for your paid work. Yep, I know you're shaking your head. There might be nothing you're doing in your paid work that fits that. And you may not be aware of having access to what that is, and that's something that you need to know about yourself. So I'm inviting you to think about that question. What is the activity, what are the things that make me feel most whole and alive when I'm engaged in it? And I phrase it as what is the work, not so much what do I like to do for fun, although that might be part of it. But you know, what's the substantive work or activity that makes me feel like this is who I really am when I'm doing this? Okay. Third question, the third one I call the passion question. Mostly because I don't know how to spell. What is it when you look around at the world, either your relationships, community, family, wherever your context is, work. When you look at the world, what is it that makes you passionately desire change? What is it that makes you say, oh, something should happen here, even if you can't figure out a program for making that change? In some ways, this is the dreaming with God question. And particularly, I want you to reflect on this in terms of God's dream for the world. How would this situation look if it were the way God wants it to be? Sometimes that takes you in a place that you can't even imagine. But don't focus on what you specifically could do about it. Just try to formulate the dream, okay? This is the hardest question, I think, on the list. Well, maybe the fourth one is the hardest one, I don't know. And then the fourth one is, how do you pray? Right now. What are the practices, spiritual practices, the things that you do because of what you believe or because of your spiritual identity?